Hi, welcome back to Frequency Intuitive. Thank you so much for being here today. Today we have a message from your angels. If that's something that you resonate with, I would assume so if you clicked on this reading. So we're going to go ahead and find out what your angels are trying to convey to you because, as we know, angels are messengers. And I have 4 piles here to find out what you need to hear. This could be confirmation of something you've already intuitively been feeling or hearing, or this could be something that hasn't reached you yet that's coming out in this particular reading. So for pile 1, if you feel drawn to, also I felt called to pull all 5s. I just remembered that happened. So I don't know what that means. I meant to look it up, to be honest with you. I meant to look up spiritual meaning of 5 because I feel like 5s are challenge. But I forgot to. But we have 5 of Raphael. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret, embrace opportunities for happiness, and search for the silver lining. And I have oddly felt drawn to pull this Hello Kitty crystal for this pile. It's bothering me because I'm a Virgo, so I really like it to make it make sense. And I don't know why it's just sticking out, but I knew it was important. So it's must mean something to someone. Hello Kitty is a cat, if you're not familiar, a cartoon character. I believe it's Japan or Korean animation or Chinese. Tell me which one if I'm wrong. I'm so sorry. All I know is my daughter has Hello Kitty stuff everywhere in her room. So if you felt drawn to the Hello Kitty, the 5 of Raphael, so that's Angel Raphael, the color green, or the phrase on the card, that could be something calling to you in there. Pile 2, it's card 5 again with divine guidance. That's the Hierophant card, which I believe is the Taurus placement card. So any of those could relate. And this is Archangel Sandalphon. This is the only Archangel here. The other, I thought Michael was an Archangel. Maybe he is. But this particular card says Archangel Sandalphon. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. And for you guys, I chose this turtle, labradorite turtle crystal, which also strongly wanted to come out. It was like turtle, turtle, turtle. Well, they all strongly want to come out, but sometimes I want to match the color, or I see something aesthetically and then I get overridden by that someone will need to see that marker. So I always go with that. Pile 3, if you felt drawn to card 5, this is Angel Gabriel. I felt like Gabriel was also an archangel. I'm not going to get into angels and archangels and seraphims and cherubims and I don't even know that whole hierarchy. It's just including everybody here. A challenge you can resolve. Withdraw from the drama of others. Have patience with yourself and those around you. And it's kind of this orangey color, and I felt drawn to pull this Celtic knot in this orangey yellow crystal. And 5 of Michael is pile 4 with blue, the color blue. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome and consider taking a more uplifting approach. And I pulled the blue, I think it's lapis lazuli. I don't know why I try. It's just the blue crystal. Angel, it's an angel. Okay, so go ahead and see what you're drawn to. As always, you can pick more than one pile because there may be more than one message trying to reach you, or even one phrase in one pile that you need to hear, plus another message in a different group. So please just trust your intuition and your instincts. And when you are ready, I will see you in your group with the timestamps below. Pile 1, I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited for your guys' reading just because it feels different here. It feels different. You have a Hello Kitty crystal, for starters. Then this 5 of Raphael. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. There's gift boxes here open on the ground, and I love nothing more than Christmas and gifts. So, not in that way, but in I'm like a big kid. I'm a big kid at heart. I like buying gifts for people. I just like wrapping the gifts. Anyway, but your card is 5 of Raphael, Angel Raphael, Angel Hello Kitty. Is that blasphemous? Everything happens for a reason. Release regret. I don't know. I'm trying to tell you the word and I keep hearing green, green, green. So this could have to do with your heart chakra, or do you have green something as part of, like, is that your favorite color? Your eyes or something, or your car green, like your house green? Are you in a green room? Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. There's a lightness in your reading. I filmed pile 2 first and pile 4 second, and both of them were connected, and both of them were very intense energies, and I think they were like over 50 minutes long each, so, or like 45 minutes. So this lightness, we're loving it. Also, someone is mowing their lawn in your reading, so I apologize for that. But I just don't think that will bother you for some reason. I'm starting with this deck. Oh, it's getting loud. So you could have a playful energy. You could have Japanese like culture. Oh, also a plane. Anything else want to get in this reading? Interference, I'm hearing. Yeah, you could have Japanese, like be interested in Japanese culture, or Hello Kitty, or I looked it up since I filmed the intro, and it says it was originated in Japan by Sanrio, which I knew that. So anyway, I'm just bringing that up because of Hello Kitty. Or you could be like a, playful child at heart. You could have been drawn to the playfulness of that crystal. Message from your angels. Cancel, clear, delete. I like this. Use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. What an interesting card. Because I don't really know that you can do that, can you? That's why I'm like laughing. Can you just cancel the effects of thinking? Cancel, clear, delete. I mean, I guess whatever you believe is what's going to happen. So if you believe that, I'm going to believe that now because I like that concept. That sounds great. Okay, let's just keep going because it's funny that you have that, because you have the search for a silver lining. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret. See, and then you got this: use positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Cancel the effects of past negative thinking. So there's something here where maybe you weren't seeing the silver lining, you weren't seeing it in the right way, and all of a sudden you're having a shift in perspective. Because it's like this figure, she's opened all the gifts here, but she's not seeing, it's like she didn't get what she wanted or something. And then there's like another gift wrapped up here. This is like 5 of Cups. I don't know, is it? It feels like 4 of Cups, but I think it's 5 of Cups. It's 5 of Raphael. This green, I just keep seeing this emerald green. Do you have something to do with like Wicked? The movie, like the Emerald City? Let me get another card from this. I just saw Indigo Child on the bottom of the deck. That's why I paused, if that's meaningful to someone. Okay, sacral chakra. You are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. So that could be meaningful to someone. And past life issue. The situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experience. Okay, and you have release. Release regret. Okay, so this is going to have karmic entanglement if that's meaningful to you. Let's keep going. Just depends on your belief system. Some people believe it. Yeah, deception and envy. Okay. There is very there's that green. Look at that. There's that green. Card 7. This is the 7 of Swords. Deceit. Now this can be self-deceit. This can also be strategy. This can be like stealing the, I always like one of the, sorry, I'm very distracted by feeling like I have like a weird taste in my mouth. Do you have like a weird taste in your mouth? Yeah, I'm gonna have to pause. So that's definitely gonna distract me. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And what I was trying to say was some of the interpretations of the 7 of Swords is that it's strategy. It's the person on the card is collecting or taking the swords or stealing the swords from the enemy in order to disarm them. So it can also be that. Also a message that I got, because I had that weird taste in my mouth, was that something left a bad taste in your mouth. And that's what this, everything happens for a reason, release regret, release your past experiences, heal from them. There could be something that left a bad taste in your mouth that has to do with deception and envy, or just deception. I'm not really getting envy too much. I don't know why those are always associated. I don't find deception and envy like closely related. Is it just me? Yeah, and then you have this avoid harsh situations and relationships. Everything happens for a reason. I'm kind of getting that this has to do with a relationship ending, or it's in question. But like, what's the message from your angels here? Yeah, okay, so you got the Star in reverse, and then card 15, which is the Devil, which is temptation in this deck. You see the energies coming out here, like you have deception, envy, and temptation. And then you got the Star 17 in reverse, which would be basically like the silver lining card, like the healing card, like the hope, the wish that this situation is going to be resolved. This is my desire for this. But it's like you've lost hope. That's probably why your angels are coming through. I'm going to keep it in reverse just so I remember like the energy that you're in about it. But maybe we could turn that over at some point. Okay, let's just continue on here. Message from the angels, pile 1, please. For some reason, I just wanted to say and make it clear. Like, not me telling the angels what to do. But are you asking that? Like, do you feel like you're not sure about what to do in this situation? That's kind of what I feel. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. Obviously, something's occurred that you either feel deceived or you feel envious of something else happening for someone else that maybe you wanted. And it's like something you're like, it keeps tempting you. And you're like, no. Or maybe you're like, yes. I don't know. It depends where you're at. But maybe you're having a hard time understanding it because it says everything happens for a reason, release regret. So obviously you're regretting something about it. I mean, maybe you were the party that did this deceit, like no judgment. Just sometimes things happen where we're like, oh my God, we're not super happy with our decisions. Whoa. Yeah, look at this. So you got walking away and strategy. Did I not just say strategy? We talked about strategy in depth with card 7. Okay. Your reading is very clear. Like it's very like to the point. I don't know what the strategy is. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if you are strategizing or they're telling you to strategize. Well, let's figure out. And then you had the walking away coming out in reverse. So, it's kind of irrelevant because it's either like you're not walking away and you should, or you are walking away and you've already made the decision. But the message is like you're considering walking away. Or you're wondering if you should walk away. I think that's pretty clear because it has angels help you to remember to release. I mean, you have the word release twice now, and walking away. And respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh situations and relationships. I'll only take that if it resonates. Please, anyone ever listening to a reading, if you're like in a happy relationship or you don't want to leave a relationship or you feel like there's more there for you to learn from, then don't take that message. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not, if you're not ready to hear that, or if that message isn't for you, then you could have, like they could have a different message here. Only take that if you're like, oh, I knew it. I know this. I know I'm just struggling. Then that's your message coming in. I don't like how this card has no home. I know what I'll do. And pull another card for. How about that? How about them apples? Yeah, but I'm so far getting this has to do with a relationship, and you basically don't know if you should walk away or not. It could be any type of relationship: work, romantic, friendship, family relationship, a relationship with a substance, a relationship with a thought. But it's like you've lost hope, and you're not sure how to walk away, or if you need to walk away, or you don't know why this person walked away, or this thing left you, like maybe you were laid off, or maybe like someone's not talking to you anymore, you got ghosted. Maybe you feel deceived, maybe someone cheated, there was infidelity, maybe the boss or a job cheated you, or a business partner or a friend. What is the silver lining? Everything happens for a reason. Leg up, okay, 34. So is this somehow giving you an advantage? That happened to me. That happened to me. Where I was in a situation where there was cheating and infidelity, and just the way that it went down, the connection that I made through that person that deceived me ended up leading me to something else that I really wanted. Do you know what I mean? So I had to be like, okay, that was the silver lining. The relationship was not for long. You know, it very clearly ended when I found out about the infidelity. But I saw why I attracted that, because I would not have found my way to the next thing that I really, really wanted without that situation bringing it to me. It was directly through that person, if that helps anyone. So, sorry, the reason I'm telling you that is because of this leg up. I feel like the silver lining is that this situation is gifting you with something else. And I know that's like so annoying to hear when you're going through it. Like if you had told me that in the first, 6 months of that situation ending, when I was like full of anger and frustration and sadness, then I would not have believed you. But a year after, when I saw exactly how it brought, I would say 2 to 3 things that I wanted, that I didn't even know I wanted, but I definitely wanted. Then I was like, oh, I would have picked that 100 times over to get to, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and my soul clearly had this conversation offline, and I would have been like, oh yeah, I'll choose that again. If it's getting me to those 3 huge things, 1000%, I can deal with that discomfort, move through it, learn what I need to learn, and get me that leg up, get me those connections that bring me right to the path of these other 3 things I want. I don't know why, like, when I'm saying that, I feel like you're not listening. It's fine. That's why I'm just like, let me just sum that up, because I don't know if that's meaning anything to you at this point. Okay, let's just keep going. Yeah, trust in reverse. Okay, we got that with the deception card. Disruption and isolation. Okay. Y'all, are you guys okay? Can I send you a hug? I don't know why my tone is like kind of humorous. I don't know if humor is the way it's because the energy that message from your angels is being communicated in that way. Is there something about it that's like ridiculous? Like in a funny way, that like if you were just honest with yourself, you're like, okay, this is so absurd that like, when they do like a rom-com about something like that, and you're like, okay, obviously like don't love what happened here, but like they're making it so funny that it's like hard not to see the humor in it, because that the character is going to be okay in the end, And then we have isolation in reverse. I'm taking all these in reverse. Oh, sorry, yeah, you have disruption in reverse, and then isolation. Wait, do they all come out in reverse? So I feel like trust has been broken. So you got disruption, but in reverse. So how I'm taking that is this: everything happens for a reason. You may feel that the connection or the situation was disrupted, but it wasn't. It was meant to be that way. It's for a purpose. It's for a silver lining. It's so that you can release something. It's so that you can get this leg up with something else. It's so that this strategy that you put into place from your higher perspective can continue to play out. And then isolation in reverse. So you're not alone. You feel alone? I don't know why we're taking a moment of silence. Huh. Let me look at the camera. Okay, 322 on the camera from when I restarted it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm being so weird all of a sudden. Like, I can't explain that. Okay, let's just keep going. I do keep seeing the number 21. Is that meaningful to someone? Like, I'm never going to tell you what to do in a reading, but I just want to tell you, like, this walking away card in reverse, it could be, because depending on your situation, that you don't want to walk away from the situation, or you're not meant to, but like you want to, but that's not the message here. Only you will know which way to take that card. If you're like, yeah. And you'll know by the way you feel. Like if I say to you, if you hear me say, it's this message is the message coming from your angels is walk away from the situation, and you feel like constriction and resistance to that, like, oh, I don't want to, then that's your answer. Then you're meant to read that card in reverse. Don't walk away from the situation, at least not yet. But if I read that to you as, you know, you're supposed to walk away, but you're not, that's why it's in reverse, and you hear like, okay, I should walk away from that situation, and you feel peace about that, and you feel like that's a good idea, and you're like, yeah, that feels like relief, that feels like ease, that feels like something I know intuitively I should do, then you take that message in the upright. Then you know it's time to walk away, even if you're not ready to do it. Sometimes we get that anxiety about it because we're not ready to do it. We're not ready to quit the job yet. We're not ready to give our notice. We're not ready to leave that person. But it's a process. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. But the other way you could take that is that, like, trust has been broken. There might have been some deception, that maybe some sort of wish, you may have lost hope about something. There could have been a lot of negativity contributing to the situation, negative expectation, negative thoughts, negative experiences, past negative situations, past life issues, but you know, some sort of temptation, like maybe you struggle with addiction and you fell off the wagon and now people aren't talking to you, or your family's, you know, abandoned you, or your partner's upset with you, but there's less like release regret, embrace the opportunities for happiness, search for the silver lining. Maybe this person's not going to leave you. Maybe you're not meant to leave this situation. You have to know how you feel inside. Only you can answer that question. No reading, no psychic, no person, no intuitive, no nothing. Nobody can tell you what is right for you. Only you will know, and it could shift in the moment. These readings are only guideposts to help light your way. It's to help present it to you for self-reflection. How does it feel when we talk about walking away? How does it feel when we talk about not walking away? How does it feel when we talk about trust being broken? What do you think about, you know, the thought that there could be a silver lining and a leg up in this? There could be a positive, you know, reason for the situation. It's all just because it's a collective reading. It's not a personal reading. So I can't give you those specifics, but even if it was a personal reading, you would still have to activate your own intuitive guidance about it, because only you can know what's right for you. No one can know outside of you and your soul. So this is all food for thought. The reason why I'm expanding on that is because it's a very delicate situation that involves leaving something or someone. And I never want to treat those like carelessly or recklessly because those are big decisions to make. So like I said, you have to know what's right for you. It's food for thought. It's things to consider. Apply it to what resonates for your situation in whichever way it resonates. But the overlying theme is that there's some silver lining here. There's some sort of, you know, not great situation that occurred that your angels see that you're going through, that's left you feeling isolated. You're not alone. That was meant to happen, even though it feels very disruptive. It was meant to happen because it's bringing you some sort of positive outcome. And although it may feel like trust was broken, although it feel like there's no hope, there is a silver lining, and try and see this for the positive. I still don't know what strategy has to do with anything, except for, like I said, that I think this was a part of a plan that your higher self and you would have concocted before you came here. That's playing out exactly how you wanted it to play out in order to bring you to the next thing. You know how many people say like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that that relationship went south because it brought me to my dream person, or it brought me to my dream home, or it brought me to my dream career. I'm so glad, like me, I'm so glad that I was able to leave that my company that I was with for 25 years, downsized, and was getting rid of staff and restructuring because it brought me to my dream career, which is to work for myself and have my own YouTube channels. And so that's what's going on here. It's something that may look not great on the outside, that you're like not super happy about and wish it hadn't played out that way. You may have a lot of questions about what's going on or why it played out that way, but it happened for a higher purpose, one that will benefit you, not like a nebulous one that you're not going to see the benefit of. One that you will see the benefit of. Ooh. Okay, Aries. Ooh, I just got super hot. Ooh, are you somewhere hot? I'm sweating. Card 1, Aries, and act. Okay, so if you weren't sure what you should, if you weren't sure if there's any action to be taken, because we've kind of been going back and forth, there really is. So it's something to do with the situation. So whatever action you've been feeling called to, it's encouraging you to do that. Whichever it is. It does say a lot of the word release. So even if it's not releasing a person, it does say like release your negativity, release regret, release situations in toxic relationships, release. There's the walking away in reverse, which could be like embrace. Temptation, where he's saying no to something here in this card. You see this devil card, he's saying no, don't tempt me. So if there's something that you felt you should be releasing, that's the message from your angels. Take action. That's exactly the correct strategy. It's going to be a silver lining and benefit you in some other way. I don't know what other way I can communicate that. That feels like pretty clear. Your main messages have come through, but I do want to get you like a closing message here from this angel, because I don't feel like, I don't know, I feel like something else. Messages for pile 1's angels, please. Do you see that? Romance angels are helping you. So as I said, ooh, I gotta cover these cards. The little cherubs ain't wearing no clothes. So interesting. Okay, sorry, I'm like just reading this. Like I said, I feel like this has to do with the relationship. Romance angels are helping you from Archangel Michael. My prayer, dear guardians of my soulmate, thank you for preparing my soulmate and me for love and giving us the motivation to make healthful life changes and for us arranging for us to meet. Thank you for helping us recognize each other and have the courage to say hello so we can eventually delve into a truly intimate relationship. Very interesting. So now this could be the person you're thinking about, or this could be the person you're thinking about that's leading you to this person. Like if the situation went south and you know you need to walk away and you know it's not meant for you and you know the trust was broken and there's no recovering from it and you've either walked away or you need to walk away. Or if it's like a job, like I said, or something, it sounds like this is bringing you to someone who is in full alignment with you. Or like I said, if you know that this is your person that you're talking about, then the romance angels are helping you to repair this, if that's what needs to happen. If it's, for some reason, if it's about repair, I feel like maybe you're the one who did something that you're like, or there could be a cross-watcher here. I mean, quite frankly, if that's not you, then it could be that you're here because you're asking about what's going on with your person. Because you're the one that maybe, like I said, did something that you don't feel too proud of and you want to repair. I just want to put this down, but I have to cover it up. Okay, guys, I'm going to close this off because I feel like I've said, I do feel like it just left a bad taste in your mouth. What you don't know is that I just paused the video again, like at the last transition, to brush my teeth again. because this bad taste in my mouth, and the way that I read intuitively is I just empathically, like I said, a lot of things translate physically for me. So if it's something, a blockage, I get a headache. If it's something that's giving me anxiety, I get a stomach ache. If it's a bad taste in my mouth, something that went south, that there's a lot of regret about, or like deception, or just like did not land well, I get a bad taste in my mouth. So I feel like something about the situation went south, but the message from your angels is that everything happens for a reason. Don't live with regret around about this. Embrace the opportunities that are there for happiness, because there is a silver lining and it is bringing you a leg up. There is a benefit coming from the situation, a huge one. There is this star here that I'm going to turn up right now, card 17. There is this hope in this situation. There is healing in this situation. There's something meant to happen in order for something else to happen. Often, like, conflicts happen in relationships in order for there to bring closeness and intimacy and healing, because it triggers things, and then the triggers allow those discussions to happen, that action to be taken, for things to be fixed, for people to, say there's addiction, and there's some situations that go south, and then one partner says, like, listen, I can't do this, I gotta walk away, and then that helps the other person face up to their addictions, because the fear of losing the person, that doesn't always happen, but that can happen. And then they say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sticking by me, because that was a wake-up call for me. But I don't know, every situation is different. I'm just saying all of these situations are plausible and have played out somewhere in space and time, and you have to find the one that resonates for you amongst this message. I hope that you were able to find your message. If you did, if something resonated, I would love if you want to exchange energy and like or comment or subscribe. If you have already, thank you so much. And if you did feel there was messages in another pile or another reading, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hello, pile 2. I'm actually filming you guys first, which happened in the last reading. So it's possible that you're from that pile from the last reading that I posted. And you chose card 5, Divine Guidance, with Archangel Sandalphon. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. And I'm just trying to see if there's anything else on the card. There's quite a bit. Okay. So I felt guided to comment on a few things on the card. One, there's a little puppy here. Can you see? It looks like a Charles Spaniel. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's the phrase that I saw. So that could be someone's name, or that could be a dog that has meaning to you, or any dog could have meaning to you. There's 2 keys above this archway here. That could have meaning. And on the hem of this Hierophant's cloak is quite a number of symbols. I'll try to see. There's like a moon. I think there's a yin-yang across, I think symbolizing Christianity. There's the Jewish symbol, I believe. I can't remember what that's called. Star of David, I think. Sorry if I'm wrong, guys. It's just the phrases come to my mind, so I'm pulling it from like the field of information. So I'm sorry if I'm getting those wrong, but I think one is probably Islam. Is that the moon with the little star? And one is, what is this? Is it Buddhism? Anyways, there's represented on his cloak the other religious like doctrines, if any of those are meaningful for you. And there's 4 sets of pillars in this image. Card 5. Okay, wow. And then the turtle. And there's also the color purple that could be meaningful for you. I heard the word royal. That purple usually represents royal. So that could have something to do with you. Maybe you are a religious like authority in something. And then this turtle, like I said, with the Labradorite. And then it's funny that the word Labradorite is also in this. And I saw that dog. So Labrador could be meaningful to someone, the place, or the breed of dog. Wow. And then also so much information came through from one card. But also before I started, I always center myself and take a few deep breaths and tune into the energy of the pile. And I found myself getting very comfortable. And I heard the phrase, you're going to be here for a while. But in the sense, it was like a pleasant message. Like, settle in here. Like, you know when you get really comfy on your couch or something and you're like, oh, and you know you don't have to get up and do anything, and you just like, I'm going to settle in here for a while. So I feel like there's some message coming to you about a phase or chapter in your life where you're going to be getting very comfortable in a good way, because sometimes people say, oh, you're too comfortable here. Like a good comfort, one that you may have been yearning for a very long time. Oh, I felt that for you for a very long time, where there's no chaos. I heard where there's no cortisol, like where your cortisol and your adrenaline's not being, you know, what is that? Why can't I think of this word? Spiked. So that's the message that I'm getting just before I even started. So let me tune into which pile we're gonna start with. Okay, I'm feeling strongly towards this Prism Oracle, which I don't usually get first, but we are reading intuitively, so we follow our intuitive nudges. Okay, interesting how you have this illumination right away. And as you can see on this card, this Hierophant figure is in the same archway with a yellow light that I actually didn't see when we first looked deeply at the card. But now I see it because it is reflecting in this illumination card. So for sure, one of the messages coming through is that something is going to be illuminated for you. Some insight, some information that you need is going to come to light because it's around the crown of this figure's head. And again, it's showing here. Okay, we have caution and consciousness both coming up in reverse. And if you're a frequent viewer here, you know that I don't usually take reversals unless I feel intuitively, oh, that should remain in reverse. And I do feel like both of those should remain in reverse. So we have caution in reverse and consciousness in reverse. I'm going to put the illumination here. The caution in reverse on the left and the consciousness in reverse on the right. So these can indicate right away that the caution in reverse can indicate that there's something that has passed by or that is no longer a threat or no longer a concern, if that resonates for you. Or it's going to be maybe something you are cautioning yourself on, something you've been cautious about your whole life, and it feels like there's something, we'll get more to what it is, that's coming in from the angels here, that they're saying, hey, listen, you can loosen your grip up on this thing. It's not a concern. And it's interesting, I just felt called to look at the card and it says consider an alternative approach. So it could have something to do with that, where maybe you had your heart or your mind set on something. Maybe you were taking too much caution, or maybe you felt that it wasn't the right thing. And then the message there in the card saying consider an alternative approach. Now, I don't know why consciousness came up in reverse. It could be something that you're not conscious of or aware of. It could be something that's deep in your subconscious, like a trigger, wounding, or something that maybe you don't realize is there that's going to be coming to light, because the illumination card would bring to light anything that's subconscious. Hey guys, I'm back. I paused the video for like 10 seconds because I had a frog in my throat and I didn't want to clear it on camera because no one needs to hear that. But I heard the song lyric, Everybody Hurts. I don't know what that's from. I don't know the song, but it's like, wow, I'm so sorry about that. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts. I don't know what it is, and I apologize for that, but I just wanted to see if you could get it. So is it that you've possibly gone through something here that was quite painful, that you feel deep hurt from, that maybe you feel alone in your hurt? Because this message is coming through from your angel saying like, hey, it's okay. Everybody hurts sometimes. This is part of life. It's okay. It's not in a way of like, it's not dismissive at all or diminishing. It's a encouraging, like embracing energy to kind of say like, hey, you're not alone in this. It's okay. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel upset. It's okay to feel offended. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay. It's okay. Basically, it's okay. This is part of the human experience. Maybe have you been pushing it back a little bit? Almost saying like, no, I'm fine. I'll get through this. I do feel a little bit for some of you, like 5% of you watching, this could have to do with the passing on of someone or something to the non-physical. You would know. This is not predictive energy. I'm not telling you this is going to happen, although we all know we're all we all know. We all know. Let's just leave it at that. But it's not, I mean, can't do nothing about that. That's also part of the human experience. But we are all eternal, so I'm talking about just the physical body passing on. But it's still quite, hurtful. There's a lot of hurt when someone or something that we were very used to engaging with their physical is no longer in the physical, even though their energy is still here, and depending on what you believe in, you can still communicate with them and all of that. But the absence of the physical form, of course, is going to take some time to acclimate to. I don't know what that message is just coming up for somebody. Yeah, because you have this search for meaning in life. So you could be at this kind of point in life where maybe something triggered you to be like, what is this? What is going on here? What is life? You may be having a what is life moment. That's what I call it. Sometimes I just get in that energy where I'm like, what is life? Like, honestly. TikTok. Okay, why am I seeing so many of these timers in my mind? What is this? TikTok. Okay, on the card is card 30. On the card, there's a 15, a 7, a 13, a 6, an 11, a 5, a 14, a 2, a 1, an 8, and a 9. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of numbers. If that's meaningful to anyone, kind of jumping off of the clock here. And it's this time with the air balloon, almost like it's flying away, like time is getting away from these hands. So you may feel like you're losing time with someone. This could have to do with someone who's ill, or who, like I said, was ill and passed on. You may feel like you didn't have enough time. Maybe, I don't know why I'm saying ill, but maybe it was just whatever, an accident or something that occurred. I'm so sorry if that's what you're going through. Like, there's nothing I can say, right? It's just not people transitioning comes up in readings. It's very hard to, as a reader, like speak about it in the way that I would want to, because there's so much energy surrounding it. It's almost like a brick wall that I know I can't get through anyways. So I don't want to even try and waste your time, because especially if you're in grief, so let's keep going. But if that theme resonates for you, this could have been recent, this could have been in the far past, this could be someone you just never got over who transitioned, that it still lingers with you. I mean, I don't know, can you ever get over that? Like, but you know what I mean. You haven't come to peace about it. This card really wants to come off. To the Sea, card 7. So there's this figure in the sky looking out over this figure in the boat who's a fairy, has fairy wings, and there's like bubbles, there's binoculars, there's a compass point. What else is this on the boat? I don't know what that is. So this card, okay, I think 5 is the throat chakra. This is just coming up randomly. It has nothing to do with that card, I think. And my throat chakra, since I started your reading, has been giving me that frog. So typically that happens when there's something that you need to say or express, either to yourself or to somebody else, that you're just not bringing to light. See this consciousness card reversed. It could either just be, like I said, expressing something to yourself, like I'm hurt, I'm sad, I'm upset, I'm not okay. I don't want this to happen, or it could be expressing something to someone else that's involved. But definitely something here needs to be expressed, because I said my throat chakra keeps frogging up. So to the sea, I don't know what that means yet. I'm not going to pretend that I do, so we'll leave it for now. I mean, for definitely for one of you, I did get the one message. Sorry, I forgot to say. For like one of you, part of your message, because it's like this angel in the sky looking out over the figure in the boat. For one of you, you're traveling or meant to travel. Like you're going overseas, essentially. Now, I feel like you would know this. This is not a message coming out of the blue that you're like, oh, I don't know what that's about. Then that's probably not the message for you here. But like I said, for 1% of you, you know. So you're like, yeah, I'm packing up. I've taken a job overseas. I'm traveling to be with this person maybe who was ill. I'm traveling to go and close up an estate. I'm traveling back to my homeland. Oh my gosh, excuse me. And I see that there's something there that needs to be said when you get there. Is it like a family? This is for like 1%, this message. Oh my goodness. Is there like a family? Yeah, like I feel like, oh my goodness. I can't even get at what I'm trying to say because the energy keeps just like, because I feel like I'm in your energy in that I can picture me going there. It's some people you're not familiar with. Maybe you've isolated yourself from or had to establish boundaries with or just fell out of contact with. And there's something that needs to be said, like either about an estate or about the way something went down or just your feelings on something. There's like a situation. And so part of the message for you, if that's you're traveling somewhere, there you do need to find the courage to say this thing. It's important for some reason. And you don't need to be afraid because this caution card is like you may be feeling cautious about it, but sometimes it needs to be said. It could be very healing. That's what I'm hearing. Ooh. Another clock. Look at this. If you're not watching, another time device came out here. Card 2 with the, what is this called? The sand clock thing? Why can't I think of what that's called? The sand timer. Anyway, you'll know what this means. The waiting game. So you have TikTok and the waiting game. So there's something that has to do with time. Either you wish you had more time, or you're not sure how much time you have, or you have to get there in time. That's kind of concerning you. Or you're waiting for something, like it just has to play out and there's nothing you can do. Okay, let's just put that with the time card because I want to get more messages. Right now we're kind of just building the outside of the puzzle here. And then card 6, material and spiritual prosperity, came out in reverse. And now, oh, I was going to say now you have 2 6s, but that was a 7. But you do have 5, 6, 7. So there is progression here. That's very important. So it's like this divine guidance card 5. Then you have this material, spiritual prosperity card 6. Then you have this to the sea card 7. So there could be something kind of like building here or growing that starts with one step and then becomes, you know, a trip or becomes an exploration or becomes a journey. I'm going to put it with that, but I still really want to get more information here. More information for pile 2, please. Ooh. Well, I just would like to shuffle this. They'll come out if it was those. I really didn't feel like it was those. I felt like they're just wasn't ready. Okay. Card 43, man holding a coin. Whoa. Yeah, these ones are ready. Okay. So we have card 43, man holding a coin, coming out. And we have material and spiritual prosperity. So I feel like whatever this situation is, it has something to do with financial opportunity or offer or increase, Like I said, if there's some sort of inheritance or something, that's part of it, because it shifts your material experience in a positive way. Then card 46 came out with the thinking man. So this is air energy. This could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. You don't have to be one of those signs, but it's just that energy of thinking things through, looking at both options, kind of debating things, considering things, the truth coming out, like clarity, because he's looking at this figure's looking at these crystals, like that's clarity, and kind of considering them. And then you got card 4, happy family. So now you have 4, 5, 6, 7 in terms of a progression. So this is the 4 of Wands card. This is a very, favorable card in the sense that it's that structure. Like I always say, it's the 4 legs of a table. It's stability, it's foundation. Like that comfort I saw at the beginning, it's exactly that. If I had have picked a card to correlate with that comfortable, you're going to be here for a while energy that I talked about at the very beginning, it would be this 4 of Wands energy. That like things are working out, you have ease, you have comfort, financially you have what you need, you're in a home and a space that you enjoy, you're with people, you're surrounded by love. It could be bringing back family into your life, like if this has to do with repairing or what's that word? Like talking again to people, reconnecting with family. It could have to do with that. Put that there. Okay, what else wants to come out here? Because right now I feel like we have like all these little bits of a puzzle, but I don't know what your message is. Besides the few things that we've talked about, like the little kind of side messages that have come out, but I don't know what the overall message is, except for your card that says the search for meaning in life and consider an alternative approach. And this whole time factoring. So I want to keep going to make sure that we get a really clear, concise message and we tie all these loose ends together. What's the message from pile 2's angels, please? I just heard consider an alternative approach again. So if definitely a message is whatever the situation is there another way to go about this? Is there something that you've kind of had on your mind that maybe you need to speak up about and suggest or offer or investigate? I would do that if that's been on your mind. That's an intuitive nudge you've been getting. That could be regarding anything. I see like endless examples, so I don't want to start listing them all. This will take a long time. More messages for pile. Yeah, see, look at this. Step out of your comfort zone. And you have this consider an alternative approach. And then you also have the caution reversed, which I feel like that is your comfort zone. When you're very cautious, it's because you don't want to come out of your comfort zone. And it's funny because we had this get comfortable here. You're going to be very comfortable here. But to get to that point, there's some sort of journey here. There's something that needs to be done or understood or illuminated. There is something. Like this is not a message that it's like some vague, like, this, everything's going to be okay and blah, 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 blah. This is, which is also the case, but this is about some specific action that needs to be taken. It's either something that needs to be said, done, a shift in perspective that needs to be become aware of within you. They're trying to bring you to this happy, comfortable, safe feeling of satisfaction and contentment with this material and spiritual prosperity, the happy family. But this illumination, the thinking man, the waiting game, the stepping out of your comfort zone, this is like some sort of action. This message here is trying to tell you, like, listen, there's something that has to do with divine timing, or time is of the essence. We're asking you to really think about this. Because the word consider, an alternative approach, and surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. So this is like in the search for meaning in life. So this has to do with something that needs to be illuminated, that they're asking you to think about. Think about this. Is there another way to do this that's maybe not your typical way to get you to this next level of comfort and satisfaction and fulfillment and peace in your life that's trying to come in? Because it's also spiritual prosperity, which is just knowing that you're okay, knowing that you're guided, knowing that you have peace, that you have serenity, that you have access to a higher intelligence and higher dimensions of support when you need it. I don't know why, like I don't feel like filling out this left side of the... Actually, this one does want to go here. It's funny how I'm placing the cards, because usually I place them like together and they build outwards, but this one it's like leaving these holes that I'm trying to find the missing piece. And that's what I feel like, that's really what I feel like is your reading. There is a missing piece that you need to find. Something that's not made conscious, something that you need to be illuminated, something that you need to think on. Now, I can't specifically tell you what that is. That would have to be in like a personal reading. It's just, that would be too specific. But it's something that that your angels are trying to project to you. Like another way of doing something, or speaking to someone about something, or following some intuitive nudge about something. Let me get you a surrender card to see if we can figure out what the general theme of that thing is. Ooh, again, can we step out of your comfort zone? I feel like you know what this is, because you have this caution reversed and the step out of the comfort zone and the TikTok and the waiting game. I feel like you know what this is, but you just haven't been doing, you haven't taken the step. You haven't taken the leap of faith. And so the message is, it's time to take that step, the one that you know about. If you're sitting here and you're like, I don't know what you're talking, like I don't know what it is, I don't know if this would be the reading for you. Like, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Retract. I don't know if that's the message for you. Your message was probably one of the other ones that I've already said. But this particular message about, you know what the thing is that you need to take action on. Stop being so cautious. Step out of your comfort zone. Find an alternative approach to resolve this. You know what the approach is, because it's been being projected to you. You know, time is of the essence, and it's going to result in this happy family, financial and spiritual abundance, possibly this journey. I feel like those who that message is for, you know what it is. Like, you could comment down below and say, yeah, I've been feeling called to travel back home to visit, you know, my hometown, and I just haven't done it yet because there's relationships there that I'm, you know, afraid of facing. Or yes, I know I need to leave this in work environment because I'm being called to this new project and I just haven't done it yet because I'm worried about the outcome, or I don't want to let people down, or I'm just very cautious individual. Because like Taurus, like with the Hierophant, I don't know why I feel like that's Taurus energy. I hope that it is, because I keep saying it. Taurus energy is very rooted, and like that's that cautious, overly cautious energy. Wanting to do things one way, maybe not having such an open-minded approach to things, really being comfortable and loving the comfort of the environment that they've created. So I feel like if that message is for you, there's something that you know, and your message is, if you've been asking for a sign or guidance, yes, to take this step out of your comfort zone. Because there is some time of the essence here. No need to be so cautious. Consider an alternative approach. So whatever the thing is, either start considering it if you don't know what the action is, or if you've been receiving divine guidance about how to go about this, I would start exploring that and taking steps towards that to see if it's the right timing for your situation. You'll know, because as soon as you start moving it forward, you'll start to feel either resistance or flow, and then you'll know, okay, let's go slower, or let's move with this, or let's get more information. Looks like 2 cards are coming out here for this. The first one is surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember, you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. I don't really know what that, like, that's a beautiful message. I don't know what it has to do with anything. So let's place it. Oh, surrender unhealthy relationships. Okay. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others. Yeah, okay. So you deserve to be treasured by others and surrounded by positive people. And then you're getting this card saying, remember, you have a uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. So does this have to do with leaving behind an unhealthy or toxic situation? Now, relationship can be regarding anything that you relate to in your life. That could be a romantic relationship, friendships, work dynamics, family dynamics, which I did feel come up here. Relationship with something in your life, like maybe you have an unhealthy attachment to something or a pattern or a routine. So this is encouraging you. Remember your uniqueness, how special, how beautiful, how unique, how just magical you are. Don't like forget your essence, your ability to create, your ability to, run after like life is electric. Like you are electric, like being awake, being conscious, being illuminated, being in the light, having fun, enjoying life. There's maybe something that's been dimmed here by another. I'm going to put these two together. I did feel like that should be there, and I'm going to put it back there. So if that message is for you, then that's just further confirmation. There could be some relationship, either to a person, a place, a thing, a job, a concept, that it's time to release, let go of, and embrace a new level of consciousness, a new level of awareness about something, whatever it is, about who you are, about your ability to create in your life, about your ability to follow the path that you choose for yourself. Let's get some like more messages specific to you. I want to get this spirit guide. No, I want to get, sorry, this back. I just want to make sure that was the deck that I was thinking of. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, okay. So here's a heal away addiction. So for some of you, like I said, this could be a thing. It could be a pattern, something holding you, something chaining you, something you feel tied to, because you got heal away addictions. It's time to, oh, how strange that she's holding this. Oh my, there's a turtle on here. There's a turtle on here. Oh my gosh, guys, that like, the hit me. That just like shocked me. It was like hot energy because so many things happened at once. Okay, so I saw this shell here that I had in the last reading. Do you see this shell? If you go to the very last reading that I posted before this one, this shell was at the center of the screen. It looks exactly like this. And then I started this reading saying, you may be from the last reading where I had that other impulse to film pile 2 first. So I would check the last reading, pile 2. Because then the third thing I saw was that there's a turtle here, and I wasn't sure if you guys were the turtle pile, like I couldn't remember. And then I glanced down and I saw the turtle, and like, look, can you see this card? There's a little turtle here. So something to do with turtles. I mean, not necessarily anything to do with turtles, but that's a sign for somebody. Or maybe look up turtle spirit animal and what that means, because they're very, I would say, kind of a little bit Taurus energy, like Taurus turtles, like set in their ways, like slow moving energy, do things very methodically. There's nothing wrong with that, so like don't take that as a criticism, but there's something coming up in this reading asking you to like do things differently, because you have consider an alternative approach, and you have overly cautious, and you have step out of your comfort zone. So there's 3 messages saying you may need to approach something in a situation a little bit differently. And let me read the card now. The card with the angel on it says, it's time to let go of behaviors that are blocking you from your heart's desire. Ask Archangel Raphael to help you with this healing. Yeah, and there is an Archangel Raphael pile. So possibly in this reading, you might want to check pile 1. I haven't filmed it yet, so I have no idea. But I just looked at the place cards, and Archangel Raphael was pile 1, the green pile. So if there is something, like I said, a mentality, it could be an addiction. It could be just an addiction to thinking. It could be lack of self-worth, thinking you're not good enough, thinking you can't do it, thinking that life's not going to work out for you. You know what I mean? Thinking that you're not held and protected and seen and guided and loved. Like so loved. Like, I don't know why that's coming out so strong. I want to scream that. Like, you're so seen. You're so appreciated. You so need to be here. Like, you have a purpose. If you're here, you have a purpose. There's something that your divine, unique essence can only do and can only offer to this earth plane at this time. I'm going to just layer these, but over cards that don't have images. Oh, and then you have cut your cords, Archangel Michael. Okay, so that came, Archangel Michael's pile 4. Just only if you felt drawn to those. Don't feel like you have to watch them, but just because those angels are coming up. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments. Yeah, again, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm like losing it. When it gets so synchronistic, I get so excited. My eye frequency gets like so buzzy. Okay, let me breathe and read you this card. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. So I feel like this has to do with this surrender unhealthy relationships card, relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured and surrounded by positive people. So if that's a message for you, then that's a message for you, my friend. I am feeling your reading coming to a close, but I do want to get like a closing card. I'm going to use this angel deck. I have a lot of angel decks that I don't usually use. Let me just blow off the dust off this one. I mean, they've all been cleansed, but I have not used it. This is my first deck ever. Jeez. How old is this deck? Maybe 20 years old? And I love this deck, but I haven't used it in a very long time. But since we're doing angels, let's pull out the angel deck. So final message for pile 2, please. I hope you got your message. I feel like it came through. Yes, I got confirmation. The message came through. Those who needed to hear it heard their message. Okay, so final message for pile 2. Oh, wow, I love this for you. From Archangel Michael, your home is protected by angels. My prayer, Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over my home and its inhabitants. I ask that you post guardian angels at each window and door, ensuring its security. Thank you for guiding my finances. So that's so interesting because you have 2 financial cards here. So that I can easily afford to pay my rent, mortgage, or taxes. Okay, so if there's some sort of safety concern on your mind, or just a peripheral concern, or you're worried about affording your home because there's this man holding a coin and the material and spiritual prosperity. And then this specifically says, thank you for guiding my finances so I can easily afford to pay my rent, mortgage, or taxes, and or that's beautiful confirmation there. I just want to make sure all these are kind of in the frame. About that financial portion of this reading. To sum it all up, because there was a lot of kind of subplots, because of course there's a lot of you here. So, but the general message here is that there is some action needing to be taken that has something to do with releasing yourself from an unhealthy dynamic, whether it's person, place, thing, or mentality. That's going to require of you to step out of your comfort zone and take action in a different way, or take steps towards this differently, towards whatever the situation is that you're thinking of with the thinking man. And cut these cords, release these attachments, and there is time involved here, so don't wait too long, I think is the message. It's because you've probably been getting this impulse for some time, which is why you're seeing this message and it's being reiterated. to stop being so overly cautious. You know what you need to do. You know the steps you need to take. Take it in this way that is outside the box. That's a more creative approach. That's maybe not so comfortable for you, but that's going to result in taking that action, whatever this thing is on your mind. For some of you, it has to do with some sort of journey, moving to the sea, going overseas, something to do with water or a journey or travel. That's just for some of you. It is going to require, I would say, all of you to step out of your comfort zone, whatever this thing is, whatever it is that you know what it is. Don't make something up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't leave your job or relationship if you're perfectly happy, because it could be about anything. But the thing that you know that you're thinking about, that's the thing. It is going to require you to step out of your comfort zone. And this is bringing this sun energy, this illumination, this action. It's basically like, what I'm seeing is if you were in a room and you had like a dusty old, curtain over the windows, and you decide to remove that. You say, you know what, it's a little out of my comfort zone. I have to get a ladder out. I have to climb up there, but that's been bothering me for some time. They're dusty, they're dingy. I want the light to be in. I want to get new curtains so that I can adjust the light and make it bright and make it dark when I want. There's just some things about this situation with these windows that I don't like. So I'm going to consider an alternative approach. I'm either going to hire someone to come and get, the dusty curtains off this window, or I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and safely go on the ladder myself, or find some sort of contraption where I can remove the curtains. But you figure out a way to bring the light in, to fix the situation. You figure out an outside of the box way to achieve the thing that you are being called to do. And it brings the light in. It brings the sun energy in. It brings the solution in. And the solution is that it brings in this financial and spiritual stability. It brings in this happiness, this peace. It brings in the meaning, I would say, to your life. It brings in meaning to your life. For some of you, I just saw this has to do with, like, for one or two of you, like a relationship. Like, there's someone that you've been thinking about, and when you reconnect with this person, only take this if it resonates with you. That brings this meaning into your life. And you're like, I knew it. I knew it. I just felt drawn to this person. I've wanted to reconnect with them. This could be this could be a long lost relative. This could be a son or daughter you don't speak to anymore. This could be a past relationship. This could be a friendship. And it brings this happiness, this satisfaction, this fulfillment, as well as, for some reason, financial opportunities, offerings, and prosperity, because there's 3 financial cards here regarding like home life. Okay, guys, I could literally talk about this forever. I don't know why I'm like super invested in this pile. I just want to like do it with you. Like, I just want to like come there and be like, okay, what's the plan? What's the thing? Let's talk it out. Like, maybe if you have, like it says, surround yourself with wise teachers or friends, because I'm getting that energy. Talk this out. If you have like trusted friends, family, therapists, spiritual advisors, religious, leadership that you trust, someone that you trust, I see you being like, okay, I've been really getting the nudge to do this. Here's where I'm feeling blocked. Can I talk this through with you? Because I want to create a plan, because I really want to resolve this, and I really want to leave this in my past and then start to enjoy these happy things in my life. So that's why I'm just like, see that for you. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to hit the like, comment. I love to hear your guys' comments. I love to hear your guys' comments. Like, I read them and then they sit with me for like a week or two until I feel called to reply. But like, I think about your guys' comments and your situations. Like, it really speaks to me. I love connecting with you guys on that way. It helps me tune into your frequency, the people gathering here, and get the messages more clearly and more frequently. If not, no worries at all. But if you do want to do that energy exchange, or you want to claim the energy in this reading, a like and a subscribe and a comment if you haven't already. Help me out as a reader and help other people find their messages. If not, no worries. Thank you so much for trusting me to be your reader either way. I hope that you received your messages today. And if you're going to another group, I'll see you there shortly. Or if you're going to another reading, I'll try to remember to link it. Then I'll see you there also. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Thank you for being here. You have the 5 of Gabriel with a challenge you can resolve. Withdraw from the drama of others and have patience with yourself and those around you. And this Celtic knot. And let's find out what message your angels have for you. And the figure here on the card is trying to solve a puzzle, put a puzzle together. Okay, so fear coming out. You could be feeling fearful about what's going on with this situation. Some unknown, a little bit of anxiety. Yeah, of course, when you have a challenge that you're facing, especially if it involves drama with others, there can be a lot of conflict. Yeah, consciousness hopping out there. Bringing a lot of awareness to the situation. What can be done here? How can this be handled in the best way? Having patience for everybody involved in the situation, compassion and understanding. Ooh. Awareness, you got consciousness, we're just talking about. So there may be, it came out in reverse and I take it in reverse if I feel, because we're talking about it and then it came out in reverse, I'm going to take it as that could be one of the messages from your angels. There could be a lack of awareness about something. So there might be something that you don't realize is going on here. You know how they always say, like, you never really know what's going on in someone's life? Someone could be acting a certain way or a situation could be unfolding in a certain way, and there's more than meets the eye, is what I'm hearing. That could be what a lot of the drama's about. Maybe someone's having a hard time with another situation in their life and it's kind of projecting onto the situation, kind of overlaying onto the situation, making it much more difficult than it should be. Because maybe there's like heated emotions, a lot of triggering going on, I'm seeing. Suffering in silence, yeah. This is what I see. Either you or somebody else in the situation. For some reason, I'm seeing it as the other party. But it could also be bringing you a lot of suffering and fear that maybe you're not vocalizing. Maybe you're both feeling a lot of discomfort, fear, anxiety about this, and you're not aware of it. Yeah, third eye chakra, which is the awareness card here. I mean, or this could be the crown. It's crown on this individual, but there's a lot of higher energy and insights that are available here. I'm actually just going to leave that up right now. I'm going to put this all together. You literally got consciousness, awareness, the crown chakra, third eye chakra. So there's higher chakras that are being factored in here or called into play. There's insights and intuitive downloads that will help you navigate this situation and help you with this challenge, help you resolve it. Let's see what else I'm being drawn to here. More messages for pile 3 about their, sorry, I just saw number 9 could be meaningful to someone. This is like the 9 of swords, that energy, and the 9 of wands. Anxieties, pressures, burdens, difficult situation that you don't see a way out of. Okay, so you got Go the Distance and Unfinished Symphony. Card 47 and card 10. I feel like those came out together in another pile. Okay, I'm going to put the Go the Distance with the Suffering and Silence. So does this have to do with something that stopped short, that kind of got disrupted? All of the readings actually today had to do with that. So you might have messages in another pile. I'm not getting any specific numbers, but you might. Sorry, I just feel like my attention's being drawn to a particular deck here. So what's the message for pile 3? We've kind of got a good layout of what's going on here. I feel like something got disrupted. Either a project, a offer, a relationship, a friendship, a conversation, a plan. And people withdrew because of fear and discomfort. But there's more than meets the eye here. There's more intuitive downloads that you're receiving in order to go the distance on this and to finish it. Actually, I'm going to put those together because they're very like, go the distance, unfinished symphony, like finish this thing. I would say unfinished symphony. That's always like, should you finish it? Should you not? Is it something that should just be left as is? But then you have go the distance. So because those came out together, I'm taking it, and you have a challenge you can resolve and have patience with yourself and those around you. So because of all those 3 cards, I'm seeing the message here about the situation. Take it for what situation it resonates for you. I'm seeing the message saying, see this through. You can see this through. There's more that can be done here. This can be completed. This can be resolved. This can be repaired. This can be fixed. This can be healed. I'm seeing like a jug that's shattered and it's being put back together. Or like a creative project that's thwarted, then it's completed. It can be completed. More messages for pile 3, please. Every time I say pile 3, I see the number 3 like really strongly in my mind's eye. So I'm not sure what that has to do with anything that could resonate for you. Are there 3 people involved in this? Because you have the 3 circles here with the consciousness. Ooh. Indigo child. Yeah, this came up in, I think, pile 1 briefly. It didn't, I think was it 1? I don't remember now. I saw it on the bottom of the deck and I mentioned it. So the person you're inquiring about is an indigo, in quotations, meaning a highly sensitive, natural born leader. So this could be you. This is usually, oh, and you have the 3rd eye chakra, which is indigo. Wow. Wow. That's really powerful that you have indigo. That's the color, specifically indigo for the 3rd eye chakra. And then you have the indigo card, which you can see are the same color here. So it's possible that you resonate with that. Indigo people are typically empaths, highly sensitive, highly in tune, aware. Maybe you behave a little bit differently, do things differently. I would say they're typically very spiritually in tune. So that could be you, or that could be this person who you're asking about. And then another I word, how interesting. Integrity and indigo. Align your actions so that they match your values with inner knowingness and what's right for you. Yeah. I feel like there's just something on your mind, like something on the table that you're just like, oh, I'm going to put that with the awareness. Something that's like bothering you, but that you're like fearful of how to resolve it. And you may be like, I'm not afraid, but like there's anxiety or concern for some reason. I was going to get that, and then I heard no. Let me get these. Illuminating the truth came out here. I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Yeah, okay. So there's something here about not seeing things clearly because there was the 3rd eye chakra, which is your inner sight. There was the awareness card, which is your intuitive downloads through your crown, that came in reverse. You have the consciousness card, which to me has something to do with something being brought to light, something being illuminated, something being brought to awareness. So I just feel like there's more going on here than either people understand that's going on with you or that you don't see is going on with this situation. Let's get one more of these. Wait, what did it say? Oh yeah, I'm willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Is there something you don't want to see about this, like you're afraid of seeing? I don't even know what this is about. I'm not getting any strong sensation towards work or a relationship or health or anything in particular. Just apply it to whatever your question is. This challenge that you can resolve. Ooh! Oi. Oi, oi, oi. Oi. Okay. You got another indigo card. Expressing free will. My choices determine how brightly I shine. It's a weirdly worded card. Growing beyond guilt. It couldn't have happened any other way. Okay. So I feel like that resonated for somebody. Also this word, my choices determine how brightly I shine, and this illuminating the truth. I'm going to turn these over. Yeah, and then you have this integrity card. I'm going to put that with my choices. It couldn't have happened any other way. with the suffering and silence. Are you beating yourself up about something? One of you's beating yourself up about something that went down that didn't, like, I don't want to say didn't have anything to do with you, but did have something to do with you, but like, you know, interacting wise, but it had to do just with that individual's soul's path. But you were like a player in it. And of course we forget this when we come here, these soul contracts that we make. But then I feel like it's affecting you more than it should. And that's what your message is about. Can we have more messages for pile 3, please? What do they really need to know here? Okay, so I just heard 2 phrases. The heart of the matter. What's the heart of the matter? And then I heard the word incongruency, which is a very unusual word for me to see on my inner screen. So there was some misalignment here, which is why it's become a challenge, or it's ended, or it's become an issue. Yeah, there's some incongruency with you, because when I said that, then I read align your actions. The word align is the counter to the word incongruency. Incongruency means like misalignment, like things not matching up, things not making sense. Alignment means things making sense. So I feel like there's something that makes sense for you that maybe you're not expressing or something, or not doing, or not putting forward, because you're trying to like protect someone else, or defer to someone else, or you're considering some past situation that's somehow involved in this. But there's really, the messages, have patience with yourself and those others. Bring the light. Because it says have patience with yourself and others around you. Then it says the person you're inquiring about is a highly sensitive indigo. Then there's the third eye chakra. Bring awareness, bring consciousness, allow yourself to see things clearly. Go the distance, finish this challenge, resolve it. There's a lot of fear and anxiety and suffering, probably on both parts, but it couldn't have happened any other way. But now your choices determine how brightly you shine, and align your actions so they match what's right for you and your inner values. So I feel like there's some action that you need to take now based on this new awareness that you have or are going to be receiving. Let me get those cards that flew off there. Yeah, look at this. Not surprised. Sorry, that sounded so annoying. Like, that was so Karen energy. Card 54 with square, semi-square. Quincunx, tension. Look at that. Incongruency. Tension. Misalignment. So you're having a conflict with someone about something, but we know this now. So, like, what's the message? Let's not keep just repeat, like, you know, circling in the same energy. How to resolve it. First house arrival, card 39. I never get much from this card. Like, what does it even mean? I would like more information. I don't feel satisfied with that pull at all, except for the confirmation of the tension. What do we not have? Oh, we do have that. My bad. What do we not have? Let's get Sissa. This could be the pile where there's French, because all of a sudden I'm randomly saying, oh my god, did I just forget to put my shirt on with that? I mean, obviously I have a shirt on, but I have a tank top on. When did I take that off? That is so random. I thought I was filming with a long sleeve shirt on, which I was, this one. But I have no idea at which point I took it off. I know I got hot, but I didn't consciously take it off. I am clothed, don't worry. I have a tank top on, like, and pants. I just like to film with sleeves because I think it looks better than like just random forearms. I don't know why we're discussing all this, but we are. But I don't know when I took it off. That's so weird. Does that have something to do with your reading? It must. That's strange. Couldn't have happened any other way. Yeah, like, I know it sounds silly, but it's like, I feel like you're hot and you took off your sweater and the other person isn't. Like, you want the air conditioning on and they don't, or vice versa. And there was like some sort of conflict and something went down. But it says you can solve this, but they may be bringing more drama than is necessary because of whatever they're going through, like I said. There's some sensitivities there, fear, their tension and conflict. But there's something that you need to just move forward with, and because it's in line with your values, and go the distance on. Yeah, show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Okay. Like, there's so many scenarios here, but this is like very like a parent and a child, and the parent wants the child to do something and the child doesn't, you know, that's not their path, or the child wants to do something and, you know, the parent's like, no, that's not my path. Like, I want you to move here, or I want you to, you know, or like a partner, and the one partner wants to move overseas and the other one doesn't, and it's causing this conflict. Or like at a job, you know, your boss wants you to do this and you don't want, it's like there's some conflict between a person, but it kind of like really matters. It's not like a small thing. It's like a big thing in your life, and it has to do with you. This tension being created has to do with pushing you to align with your own integrity and values, your own choices, pushing past your own fear. I don't like the word pushing past your own fear, because you should respect fear in some sense. Like, we're afraid of things because they could be dangerous, but we can also be afraid of things because we're uncomfortable with them. So you have to know which it is. But yeah, this arrival card, there's something here that you instinctively know you're meant to do or stand up for or achieve. And that's what your message is. You can resolve this so that it's like a win-win situation, but you have to withdraw from the mixed bag of information and the peanut gallery, and patiently look at within yourself what is right for you and your soul, what your soul is being called to, what's the highest resolution for everybody. But you can only factor in yourself, because you don't always know what's going on with other people. So sometimes what they think is the best situation is maybe not the best situation, like, you know, big picture, and that's why you're being called to something else. Like, you know, like say a parent who needs to move for work and the kids don't want to leave their school and their friends, but, you know, lo and behold, all of you guys are a soul family, and you know that you've made this contract to do this, you know, at this point in your life, because this person, your child's future soulmate and children are going to be born, you know, from that union later on in life, and it needs to be in that geographical, you know, location, you know, but at the time the child is upset. It's that type of energy. It has to do with a choice that's creating tension and conflict, but that you need to go the distance on and finish this project, finish this symphony, finish what you wanted to, finish what you started because you want to, not because you should. It's something that you want to finish. That has to do with being your authentic self, showing the world the real you, shining brightly and aligning with your own inner truth. I am going to close this reading out there, guys. I just feel like it's naturally come to an end. There could be messages in another pile if you felt drawn to that. I hope you got your messages from this. If you did and you want to exchange energy, hit the like, subscribe, comment down below. Thank you if you've already done that. I love hearing from you guys and your experiences, and if it resonated and the messages that you got. If not, thank you for being here and letting me read for you. I'm honored. All the best of luck with this situation. I know that you can do this. Your angels know that you can do this. I would meditate and reflect on it, journal on it, wait for those intuitive nudges, those downloads, that insight that's clearly coming with all of these cards about crown, consciousness, awareness. If you are going to another group or another reading, then I will see you there shortly. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Welcome, Pile 4, to your reading. You chose the 5 of Michael card. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome and consider taking a more uplifting approach with the little angel crystal. I want to get you one of these cards for some reason. Right away. So let's find out your message from your angels that's trying to reach you. Asking for angelic support, bruh. Okay, for starters. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. Okay. Really interesting. I want to get another one of those because that came out like so synchronistically with the angels when we're doing an angel reading, which is this is my first angel reading, so it's not like I often do that. Befriending pain. Okay. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. Better, easier said than done. Okay, so let's find out what's going on here and what message you need to know. I just keep seeing, like, for one of you that the actual name Michael could be relevant for you. Like, it could be someone you know or yourself, or something in your family. Base chakra, okay. And 5, wisdom. Okay, so all these 5s keep coming out. Like I said at the beginning, I chose all card 5s. So your base chakra is... Oh, and this was actually in pile 2. Card 5, the Hierophant. This is the Hierophant card, which can be Taurus energy, I believe. I keep saying that, so I hope that's true. And there's a little dog in this too. Look at this little white schnauzer. And then there's like this. This is very interesting. This is like the happy family kind of in the background here that always shows up on the 4 of Wands, which also came out in pile 2. So you might have messages in pile 2 just because they had the Hierophant card as their main, and then yours came out. Actually, okay, well that makes sense because right before I started your reading, my friend texted me a picture of a baby turtle in the palm of his hand that he found, and I texted him back the turtle crystal that was the placeholder for pile 2, and I said, oh, I just finished a reading and this was the placeholder for pile 2. It's so funny that you just texted me a picture of a turtle. And then I thought to myself when I was setting up to film your pile, oh, that would have been cool if that happened before pile 2, because then I could have told them that, but I had already finished filming. But then, so I started your reading and I didn't say it because it didn't seem relevant, but now you already got a couple indicators here that are similar to pile 2. So now I'm seeing why the turtle came up right before I started filming for you. So you're also being encouraged to watch pile 2 with the turtle marker, okay, if you feel drawn to it. So the base chakra here is your sense of security, your sense of stability in the world. You're like, it's your base, it's your foundation. Like, what do you kind of need here to just function on earth? Shelter, food, water, feeling secure, feeling safe on earth in your body. So are you not feeling safe in your body? Because you also have this about discomfort. You could be from pile 4 on the last reading that I posted for some of you, because the physical discomfort came up there as well. Okay, let's keep getting messages here. Find out what your message is. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well, but you may not be feeling your best. I can sense that. Thank God we're eternal. Okay. Anxiety. Yeah, I am feeling that. And see this red coming up here. Base chakra with the red. The anxiety has this red. That would be like the 9 of Swords card. Something that's kind of just bothering you. It's in your mental. You're not feeling good. You're not feeling safe. Maybe you're not feeling yourself. So your angels are obviously coming here for comfort. Woman holding a coin. Okay, so pile 2 had man holding a coin. So there's a lot of synchronicities here to pile 2. There's a black cat in this one and a lot of purple here. The Hierophant here is wearing purple. So you have a lot of purple and red. This could have to do with your base and your crown chakra, kind of like heaven and earth. Ooh. I don't know why I just ran away. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm really like coughing and laughing at the same... Oh my gosh. At the same time, that card jumped out like a fish. 2 cards. Okay, interesting. So these 2 cards, when I started to plan for this reading, first I was drawn to this deck and I pulled these 2 cards as markers. Like I pulled this and then I pulled this and then I felt, oh no, it's an angel reading. I can sense that. I want to pull the angel deck. So now these 2 have come out. So I bet you if I had have done this, you would have piled. If I had have done this deck, you would have pulled this pile. So more purple here with card 39 and new life. You could be very happy to see that if you're feeling in discomfort in your existing situation. In card 49 with the observer with a fox here. I don't know what those mean right now. I mean, besides the obvious, I want to get a specific deck for you here. Because that fox spirit's making me want to pull this animal deck. I feel like you resonate with animals because there's the white dog, the black cat, and the fox. So you could have these animals in your life or see them as signs. I feel like you're very spiritually in tune. Like some of you could be card readers or mystics or psychics or intuitives, empaths, all of the above. Whoa, mouse, okay. Tend to the small things, card 40. What does that mean? Besides what it means, but what does that mean for you? Okay, so for some of you, I'm seeing that something's happened that you, like maybe you broke your foot or your ankle, I'm seeing, or you have some sort of debilitating situation that you're not used to. And I'm seeing, I don't like doing these messages. Sorry. I don't like these messages because it was a very similar message in that pile 4, just because I've been through this and I know how frustrating it is when someone from the outside tells you this and you're just like, shut up, because you're just in so much pain and discomfort. You're like, really, like, go away. But that's fine. You can tell me that, but I'm telling you the message anyway. One of the messages coming up here is that this situation may have been drawn to yourself from your higher intentions in order for you to slow down. Now, if that's not the first time you heard that, or you already came to this conclusion yourself, then that may be easier to hear. If you haven't heard that yet, you may have clicked off or like disliked the video, just because I know it's so frustrating when someone says that, because it's like, sorry, do you understand the amount of like pain and discomfort I'm in? But like, oh, I'm so glad that my soul decided I should slow down, and so that's the way that we're doing this, like, because it just seems so like unnecessary. But would you have slowed down unless you were physically forced to? When did this happen to me? I'm trying to think. This happened to me a couple times, but I'm trying to think. There was one specifically that like really I was like, wow, it happens to me a lot, because just personally, but if this helps you, because it hasn't happened recently, because I think I've resolved this within myself. I'm just an overdoer. Like, I have super high Virgo energy. I was a super type A, like organized lists, super perfectionism. And like I said, I've released a lot of these tendencies, but you still probably hear me talk about them sometime on the channel, because it's still part of my ego identity. But for instance, like once I got like really bad vertigo, and just randomly like vertigo, like so much disbalance in my ears. I went to the ear doctor. I was like trying to figure out what it was. I couldn't walk. I had to sit. I'd get dizzy if I sat up. So stuff like that. And like there's no explanation. They can never explain it. No explanation. Just went on for like say 3 or 4 months, and then one day resolved. But it forced me to slow down because I could not function the way that I wanted. I couldn't go that fast. I couldn't work as hard. So I'm just telling you, I know that message because I've received it before and I've been through it. And that's just one of my examples. I would say 10 times in my life that's happened to me. So for some of you, that's part of your message, but that's not the message from your angels coming through, because they're not here to tell you like, oh, this situation was, not created, but like created, the situation is in your life for you to realize that you only need to tend to the small things right now, like take care of yourself as best you can, make sure you have food, water, comfort, and start to slow down a little bit. But there is like a new life aspect here. But let's just keep going. That's just one message that's coming out, but that's not the message from, like, that's not the main overarching message. Oh yeah, I forgot what the card was even about. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. Yeah, I do feel like it has to do with your approach to the situation, like your mindset about it. Even here with my angels respond when I'm open and authentic about how I feel. Are you like masking the situation for some reason to others? Because I remember that other pile, it was suffering in silence. It was something about like, are you not asking for help, or like, even if it's just from the spiritual realms, like if you don't feel comfortable asking for help from like other people, or there is no one to ask, calling in like high frequency support, angels, spirit guides, ancestors. My understanding is they can't intervene. They can't, because we have free will, so they can't intervene unless it's like a think of life or death situation, because then you're like greater soul will to live basically is like implied and inherent, and they can intervene on that. I don't know. Like, I'm not an angel expert, but that's the information that I've received. So you have to say, please help me with this. Please support me with this. Please intervene. Please bring me the answers. Please help alleviate the pain. Whatever it is. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. Lizard spirit. I don't know why I said it like that. Not hating on lizard spirit. Card 38. You're getting a lot of these. Look, you have 30. Look at this. You have 38, 39, 40. I thought that was happening. But they're different. These ones are different decks. Dream the world into being. Yeah. And then you have this new life. So there's some like new life, new world that's trying to come in. Well, not trying, like you're calling it in. Because when you're in discomfort, you call in what you would prefer. You call in ease. You call in comfort. You call in healing. You call in whatever it is that you need. If you don't have enough, you call in enough. Energetically. You can say it right out loud. You can ask for it, like I said. But energetically, you now desire that solution, right? You desire that fix. You desire that resolution. You desire that improvement. And so as long as we allow that in by trusting that it can happen, dreaming it into being, like you don't have to physically visualize, but it can be helpful for some people to activate. But allowing, basically, it's the step of receiving, of saying, okay, I don't see how, I don't know when, but I trust that I'm worthy. I trust that I am deserving. I trust that because I'm inherently deserving, I'm inherently worthy because I'm a soul here in this, game that we're playing, this matrix, this environment, this consciousness. I am supported and I am guided and I am loved, and I came here and I have free will, and my soul has intentions, my higher self has intentions, that we agreed on before I came here. And so I'm on this journey, I'm experiencing some things, but I also can adjust and I have free will and I can decide in the moment what I would prefer now based on what I've experienced. I don't know where I was going with that, but when you experience, if you believe in law of attraction or laws of creation or law of assumption or just ask and receive or a prayer, when you ask for something, I remember like when I was raised in Christianity, in Pentecostal church. My mom is Pentecostal. And so I remember that there was one sermon where the pastor was saying, like, if you keep asking and asking and asking and asking and asking, at some point you have to say thank you for the receiving of this. I believe that this is coming to me, because when you keep asking, it's like you're saying to the parent or whatever you believe in, God was his point. I still need this, I still need this, I still need this, I still need this. And that's essentially what you're saying to the universe when you keep asking and asking and asking without the allowing or the receiving. It's a small shift, but it is a shift that's required energetically to shift from I don't have enough, or I have pain, or to I can't, I'm excited for this. I'm so appreciative that this is coming to me. I'm learning what I need to learn from this experience, and I'm looking forward, anticipating the journey of this, and I'm happy and excited and expectant of the day when my reality is different than this. It's a different energy. It's a slight shift. You may want to, if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe look into it, like start to research. There's so much out there. When I started like into my spiritual world, there was not very much. I had to really dig for it. Like I went like Wayne Dyer, and then I found Abraham Hicks, which I highly recommend. Now there's lots, like now it's very mainstream. But whatever you resonate with, you can just Google it, law of attraction, law of assumption, laws of creation, laws of manifestation, and find what resonates for you, because you'll find, thousands of different things. Like I said, it could be prayer for you. That would be like, a pillar of manifestation. Ask and you receive. But whatever it is for you, maybe part of your journey is discovering your magician tendencies, discovering your magician capabilities, and like exploring them and practicing them. That was a big part of mine. Like, I guess my soul, for sure, it makes sense. I really wanted to experience my ability to create my own reality. So I understand now, looking back, how I would create a situation, basically create a problem so I could fix it. That's like a big part of my personality. I'm a problem solver. I like to fix things. I like to clean things up. I like to organize things. It gives me a sense of purpose and fulfillment and satisfaction. And so I can see how historically, across my journey, I've created and drawn situations to me energetically in order to experience myself fixing it and manifesting the desired outcome. And I've done that over and over and over again. And let me tell you, it's very satisfying. But when you're in, it's one thing for someone to say, hey, you create your own reality, or you have the power to choose what you want and call it in, or whatever you want to say, or you have the power to pray and then receive, in divine timing and divine will. But it's one thing to experience it and be like, wow, I had this problem, I had this situation, I had this pain, I had this discomfort, I had this whatever. And through my process of whatever I did to achieve it, I saw this thing fixed or healed or resolved or recovered or restored. That's what we're basically here for, I would say. I would say most souls came to experience their own power to choose and create. So that's probably what this thing is about. Because this is very similar to POW 4, like I said, of the last reading, and I'm getting a very similar message. So you could have either not found that message on that reading, maybe you just didn't see that reading, and it's coming out again, or you saw that message and it's being repeated for you here. Like I said, you also probably have messages in POW 2. So let's keep going, because it could be more. There could be more here, or it could slightly vary. But this specifically says, release your attachment to the outcome. The situation doesn't serve you. Which is interesting, because I don't know what situation wouldn't serve you. So it's possible, because it's always serving us. It's just that sometimes you've learned the lesson and you're still in it. Like, you have to release it. So there could be something that you've learned the lesson, but for some reason you're still attaching to it. And there's this new life waiting for you here. What does observer have to do with it? And woman holding a coin. Yep. Balance. Okay. So if it comes out in reverse, I take it if I feel that it should be in reverse. I don't really think it's matters either way in this, because I feel like maybe you're a little bit out of balance with some things and bringing yourself into balance. So I'm going to put it in the upright just so that we can activate the energy of it upright. Yeah, because see the card itself, see how it's like a little, see how there's like this little, if you're not looking, see that this little wheel in the center kind of has to turn a little bit. Alignment, right? So there's some alignment needed here in order to bring things into balance. Could be physical alignment, like I can't tell you what to do medically. We're not allowed to talk about health things here, nor would I. But if you've been feeling called to any modalities like acupuncture that has to do with your meridian line alignment, like chiropractor that has to do with your physical meridian line alignment and your skeletal structure, but alignments here, or spiritual alignment, which is becoming aligned up with your higher self, basically, or the higher intention, or that which you want. I hate what I don't know why I keep saying the word hate. This is a very rare word for me to use. But I feel like you have a deep frustration about something to the point that you would say, I hate this. Because I personally, I get frustrated with this format when something like that comes up, because like for me to explain to you what alignment is, like you may have heard that before, you may know what that is. I would research it. Like I can't tell you. I want to just tell you and explain everything. It's too much information for this format to go into the power of aligning with your higher perspective, with your North Node, with divine will, with whatever you believe in. For me, it's like my higher self, my higher intention. And that alignment is usually your internal perspective. It's your internal state of being. Like I said, the difference between is the glass half full or half empty. Half full is I'm expecting more. I have this much and I'm expecting more when I need it. Half empty is you see the lack. And so it's your perspective either allows in because the thing is, even if the solution presented itself, if your perspective is one of lack, it will miss you. You will miss it. it will be right in front of you and you will miss it because your perspective will be that it's not there. That, you know how many times I've done this? Like, let me tell you something. Sometimes I get into this mentality that I don't have enough. I actually really have to continue to work on that because I think we've lost some ground on that. But because this situation that I'm in, let's just have a heart to heart. Let's just be vulnerable. This situation that I'm in with like building this channel, I have another channel. This is the first time in my life that I'm not, I just feel like this is going to resonate for someone, that I'm not in a 9-to-5 salaried corporate job since I was like 14 years old and I got my first job. And then I've worked multiple jobs. This is to maintain my lifestyle and pay my bills, etc. over time. And I've always had that steady income. So now this year I decided to because if you don't know, I took a package at my old job because they were downsizing and I wanted the opportunity to do this as my, follow my creative passions and use my gifts. So I have an ASMR channel where I create like self-care, healing, soothing things. And then I have this channel where I do the readings. And because I'm in that situation where I don't have that financial security, I find that I've kind of I keep hearing the word backslidden. That's like a Christian term. So that could be something that resonates with you. But I've kind of lost a bit of ground on that perspective where I always know that I'm taken care of. I've always had enough. The money always comes through. There's always a way. It's always provided. But when you're not seeing it in your bank account right away, that sense of security, I would like to have a buffer, even though all my bills are paid. I have food, I have gas, I have more than, one could ask for, but I'm not used to living paycheck to paycheck, right? Like I'm used to having a buffer. And so for me personally, I've been out of alignment. I've been looking at the glass half empty. And let me tell you how I keep seeing the most humorous ways in which this is playing out. For example, I'll take a look at my bank account and I'll think, okay, I really got to watch my money for groceries because it's got to last till my next pay, my next YouTube paycheck, and I'm getting kind of low. And so I'll say to myself, okay, so this is what I'll say to myself. I'm not going to drink my coffee because I get like a Starbucks, dark roast espresso, and that's not cheap. It's like, $11 for a box of 10. I could be drinking cheaper coffee, or I could not be drinking coffee at all. And so that's all I'll say to myself. Okay, so because this is my lack mentality, right? That's got reactivated by the situation that I'm in. And even though I want to be in this situation. So I just feel like this is relevant. That's why I'm bringing it up. Well, I know it's relevant. And so I said to myself, for example, I'm not going to drink the coffee, so I'm going to go until I get paid again, and that's going to be the sacrifice that I'm going to make. I'm not going to have my coffee because I don't need that to survive, and that's what I'm going to do. Meanwhile, guys, I had an entire box in my pantry. There was no lack. So do you see how my perspective, I could not even see that I had already purchased that. I think I got a double pack once or something, and I forgot that it was there. And I couldn't even see it until a couple days later. I hadn't had the coffee for a couple days, and I was feeling, sorry for myself about that. And, oh man, like blah, 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 blah. And then I find this dang box in the pantry, and I think, what a lunatic. It made me laugh. Because I'm like, okay, I see you, universe, teaching me my lesson. I couldn't even see it because I didn't even have that expectation. Now, if I didn't have that lack mentality where I felt like I needed to tighten all my resources, I would have just thought, oh, I'm out of coffee. Let me go see if I have some. Like a normal human would do. I would have checked and been like, oh, here's the coffee. But because I automatically assumed that I didn't have enough, I couldn't even see that it was there. And let me tell you how that has happened to me multiple times. Multiple things I've thought I've run out of and then found an entire pack, which I feel like I'm super, super aware of, like, all my resources. So like, I don't see how it escaped me because I'm like, I know how much of everything I have left, and so I don't run out, and I'm using my resources wisely. But this perspective is not serving me because it's actually making me overlook the things that are there. Okay. So I feel like that's a message that someone needs to hear, is about your perspective of how you're seeing something. So I'll work on that with you because I need to work on that too. And I'm glad that I just realized that in this reading. Okay. So what else we got? Ooh, quite a few cards. Okay, we got ideation, which is red here, more red coming out here. So some sort of idea. Okay, we've got growth and disruption in reverse, which I'm very happy for. I'm very happy that disruptions come in reverse because I feel like this has been very disruptive, whatever this thing is that you're asking about. So this is showing that that's soon going to be leaving your experience, which I feel like you sense that, friend. I feel like you sense that this will soon be leaving your experience. I think you want to hope for it, but you don't want to hope for it. Like you almost don't want to dream this new life into being because you're like, you think it will be painful. But that's not how it works. The more you can dream the new life into being and feel good about it and feel excited for it, the more you're pulling it in towards you and you're lining up with it. You're aligning with it. I don't know what I'm doing here with these cards, but something. Okay, and then we had the growth in reverse, which I feel like is how you're feeling right now. You feel like nothing's going anywhere. You can't move forward. I'm getting that. But I want to get your like new, what am I trying to do here? What is she trying to do, folks? I want to get your message now. Like some of it's been coming in, but we've mostly been setting the scene for what's going on. Okay, so observers coming through strongly now with what I just said. Try to be a third party situation in your situation and pull yourself out and really honestly observe what's going on here that doesn't serve you. Observe, can you take a more uplifting approach like we discussed? Observe, can you release your attachment to this outcome? What about this situation is making you feel the way that you're feeling? Like it said, my angels respond when I'm open and authentic about how I feel. I'm seeing journaling super strong for you guys. Like I would start writing all this down. Therapy, if you have access to that, a trusted friend, a trusted advisor, a spiritual teacher. There's some wisdom to be gained here with this Hierophant card. There's some enlightenment, some illumination. Like I said, watch pile 2. I'm going to get this deck for you. Okay. And oh yeah, with the ideation card, it's like there's a new something here, a new idea, a new seed to plant. I want to ask so badly, like, how long are you going to be in this situation? Are you asking that? Like, how long? I don't know how I could ask that. Time is very difficult to predict, timelines. And even if one did predict them, they're so fluid. Because you could have a quantum leap, you could have the shift that's required, you could, like, it's just almost irrelevant because you're at the wheel of that. It has to do with you coming into alignment, whatever the lesson and whatever the information and the insight and the receiving, level of receiving and divine timing. So it's kind of irrelevant, but I hear you asking that. But here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you that's coming through. If I shuffled this, say I had a deck of time, and I shuffled this deck and I said, when will this be leaving their experience? And the card said 1 week. How would you feel? That's the point. The point is for you to realize, lizard spirit, you're dreaming the world into being. So you decide. You decide the timeline. You have that power. Yeah, my most limiting beliefs are healed when discomfort becomes a friend. There's something to do with you not believing that you have any say in this. Which I understand, because when you draw, like when I had the vertigo or any of the ailments, my lessons come through physical. Like, it's so annoying. They don't anymore. Thank creation, thank God. I haven't for a very long time. Or if they do, they're very mild, like that cough that I got, which is just more of an annoyance. But for a very long time, decades of my life, all of my lessons, for some reason, I guess because I'm an earth sign, I've physically experienced the lesson. And then I realized, look how, I don't know why I randomly had this, look how great a manifestor I am. I can manifest, look how quickly I can manifest in my reality. So then I realized, okay, if I can manifest this, negative in quotations thing that I don't want to experience, then I can manifest the opposite. So for some reason, that's important message coming through from your angels, because we are very like, I don't know why they want you to learn through my lessons, because I don't usually share this much about myself, and I apologize if that's annoying you. But that's how they're relating everything. So is there like a friend or someone or a group that you can go to that you could relate with and learn from each other? Because they're like, tell them your experience. Like, tell this story. They're showing me all these examples. I'm seeing all these examples. And then that's helping me to explain to you what I'm trying to say. But that helped me. That was one of my eureka moments, like light bulb paradigm shift moments. That was a quantum leap for me when I realized, okay, if I created this physical ailment, theoretically, because I had never heard that before. Like I said, I was born in Christian faith, so I had never really heard it framed like you create your own reality. And when I started to kind of get into that world, I was like, well, wait, then if I've created this, I can uncreate it. But I know it's hard to hear that you have the control, because you think, but I didn't plan to create, like I didn't call that in. I didn't say I want this. Of course not. Like you wouldn't consciously do that. It's a pattern, a behavior, a pattern of thought, a pattern of expectation, a perspective that says to the universe or creation or whatever you believe in, or it could be an intention, of course, from your higher perspective, something that you wanted to call in, that you created, but from a higher perspective before you came here, which I know those ones are hard to hear, because it's like, why would I create this? But trust me, when you're eternal, you like to have fun sometimes, and we're like, oh, let's try this time. Yeah. And then we get here and we forget that we did that, and then it's like, it seems like a freaking drag. But remember that you're invincible and eternal, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes forms, and you're eternal. Don't forget that part. I think I said that 5 times. But from that perspective, you want to play all of the games, even the most challenging ones at the fair. You hear what I'm saying? Because you can have another go again. And even in this lifetime, you can have endless goes again. I don't even know that I was shuffling these, but it's already occurred. So we're taking them. Okay, so you have a couple of things coming up here. You have Capricorn, which could be resonant sign for you, with achieve. Okay, that I felt. We opened this reading with this. Look at these horns. Look at these stubborn horns. We have Taurus. We have the Ram. There's Bull energy. There's Ram energy. Could be Virgo energy. That achieve, overachieve. Look at the face on this Ram. So determined. Card 10. I really think you are an overachiever. Are you an overachiever? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. Are you an overdoer? It's got to be perfect. You can't go to bed at night if the kitchen's not clean, if the sink has dishes. You can't walk by a crumb on the ground. You got to vacuum it up. Or even if it's not house stuff, it's at work. You're a perfectionist. Or even if it's not work, it's in your social life. You're always trying to fix. You're always trying to please. You're a people pleaser. Overachieving in what capacity? Are you really hard on yourself about your physical appearance, about your looks, about achieving like a certain physical state? There's something here about this. This is critical. That's why it's coming out. I'm going to move these so that I can... No, I'm not. What does woman holding a coin have to do with anything? Yeah, overachieving will bring a lot of anxiety. Now, there's nothing wrong with achieving. Capricorn energy is great energy to be in. I'm just saying in this can bring a lot of positive things into your life. I'm just saying in this context of this particular reading, based on the things that we've said, I would say it's the shadow aspects of Capricorn energy, which is really, really overworking yourself to the point of burnout. Is that what you're doing? Is that what you did? Because you need to find balance here. And I think you have to be honest with yourself, because you have this, when I am open and authentic about how I feel, and you have most limited beliefs are healed when discomfort becomes a friend. You know how I had to get comfortable? By not being perfect. That's how I healed this. Like these readings, like I used to have the channel like years ago. I was so perfectionist. It would just thwart I was like, the lighting's not right, the sound's not right. I would over edit the piles. I would question everything I said. I would, I don't think I might offend someone. Oh, I don't think I said that right. Like, that perfectionism was a compulsion to overachieve. It was to like have it perfect, have it right. And then I realized like everyone needs to hear the message in a different way. So like I can't even predict what I'm trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I make it too cleaned up and the person doesn't hear their message because they don't resonate with that? What if I made a mistake and I said the wrong astrological sign, but that caught the attention of the person who needed to hear that because that was their astrological sign? So then I realized that the mistakes, like so-called mistakes, and the mess and the disorder, to some extent, needs to be there because that's what makes it authentic, and that's what makes it reach who it needs to reach. That's what makes it like there is no perfection because it is perfection already. You can't clean it up any more than it is because whatever you're giving in that moment is exactly what it's meant to be. We also have there's lots that came out here. Oh, guys, sorry, skipping over that for a second because you got this debilitated discomfort. I knew it. I don't mean to sound like that sounds annoying, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, this discomfort. We read that from the beginning. We got that from the beginning. This disruption. Debilitated discomfort, card 14. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. You know what's bothering me about this? Is that I feel like, so anytime information like comes out in the field, it's always taken to a new edge. Like there's always newness there based on the people who are considering these concepts. And I feel like we're not getting the new nugget. I feel like we're just, like basically what came out in Pile 4 of last time, that's all come out of that last reading. But I feel like there's something else. There's like a slight other nuance that we're missing. And that's the message that I want to get to. So we're going to get to that. Okay. So I felt so strongly put this with the growth reversed. And I was like, why? So I was seeing growth reversed as negative. I think you did too. Like I was like, negative. I always put in air quotes because there isn't a negative or positive in the sense of everything is for our soul's growth. And the soul doesn't see things like that. It sees it in a neutral way. But there has to be negative and positive for polarity, for growth, essentially. For polarity. Anyways, let's not get into that. But typically a human with an ego, like an egoic human, like not... You know what I'm saying? A human, because of course you have an ego, identity, is that we would perceive lack of growth as negative. Would we not? Would we not? Would we not? Would we not? Even spiritually, I think everyone would say growth and evolution is natural. But there's something here about you and me, we're in this together now, perceiving lack of growth as negative. What is that about? But it's not that. It's like divine timing or something is what matters. I'm seeing like pregnancy for sure. I'm seeing like a business idea or like a passion and you being like, I'm planting these seeds and it's not growing and so I've failed. Or like I'm trying to get pregnant and I'm not and so I've failed. Or like I've tried to heal from this and I'm not and so I'm failed. But can you see it as neutral? Is it possible just to challenge that? I know this is like completely like, what's the word? Like revolutionary thought, right? But just hear me out because I don't know where this is going, this thought, but I just feel compelled to say it. It's coming through really strongly. For example, say that your soul came here and said, just throw all of your assumptions out the window about what is bad and what is good. And say your soul had, before it incarnated here, had all its conversations with all its soul tribe and whatever happens there, and said, I'm going to go into this world and be what they would call unwell. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to be in super discomfort because these are all the things that I want to do. And so I really hope that I'm able to achieve that. That's my number one goal, is to experience this because of all of these other things that it will affect, the people around me, my spiritual growth, my soul's desires, blah, 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 blah. Just say. And then you get here and you achieve that and you're exactly where you meant to be. But then you see it as failure. But your higher self is like, we did it. Perfect. Now we can begin to seed our plan. I almost want to cry from how healing that feels. There's something about you feeling like you're doing something wrong. Same goes for pregnancy. Say you came here and you said, in every life I've been a parent, and in this life I want to experience, not giving birth. Or I want to experience being told I can't give birth and then doing it anyway. I want it to be really exciting and interesting, and I really want to figure out my powers of manifestation, even against all odds, whatever the scenario is. But for whatever reason, at this part of your journey, you're unable to conceive. And you see that as failure from your ego lower perspective because you can't see the bigger picture. But the part of you that remembers the intentions that it came with is like, yes, this is going exactly to plan. We are exactly where we intended to be. Not a parent, yet, or not going to be a parent in this lifetime. Exactly as we planned. Or we haven't discovered our power yet and we're just about to. Can you see and how you would feel successful? And that you've achieved something. You'd have no anxiety. You'd be standing on the precipice of this new life, being excited for what's coming next. And there's something about this. When my most limiting beliefs are healed, discomfort becomes my friend. What if the whole world was turned topsy-turvy and discomfort was comfort and comfort was discomfort? Does that make sense? What if any pain was actually, I don't know, a gift somehow. It was somehow, I feel like this is something, I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like you have read this before or someone has discovered this. That information's drying up. I can't go further on that, but I think I've said enough for that topic, for whatever needed to be seeded to be seeded. So let's continue, because you also got this Gemini card 3 with cross-pollinate. Which is interesting because we were just talking about fertility for something. Let's get back to that. So there could be Gemini energy here. Oh, there's also Pisces. I didn't even know all these cards came out. So Capricorn, Pisces, and Gemini have come out. Now Pisces and Gemini are both twos. Gemini is the two the twins. There's two bees here, and Pisces is the two fish. And I always say them when I'm saying anything with twins or duality or basically what we're talking about here, this upper lower self, this higher you, the lower you, the ego and the higher self, the yin and the yang, because they both have the two as their symbols, the twins and the fighting fish. The Pisces is card 12. It says sensitize, and you have observer. So something here to sensitize yourself to, become aware of. And then you have the Gemini cross-pollinate. There's a lot in this reading, guys. This is a big one. How long is this? I feel like I've been talking for 45 flipping minutes. Do I even? It's 40, guys. Guys, when I looked at the timer, it was 4444. It's 44 minutes and 44 seconds, right when I looked. How have I been talking for 45 minutes? That's absolutely wild sauce. Okay. There's a lot that they want to say. Okay, and we have 12th house with introspection. And you have this observer. So it's definitely something. Your message is that there's something you need to become aware of or realize. And I think it has to do definitely with stuff we've been discussing here about the way that you're perceiving this. And there's some way of releasing it because the way that you're approaching it is not serving you. And I think you know that. Like, you know that. Because there's this new life, this dream, this new world into being with lizard spirit. There's this disruption and discomfort moving from your experience. And you literally have the word discomfort twice. And I feel like that exact same thing happened in that reading pile 4 last time. Have you not asked for help yet? Because you have this, my angels respond when I'm open and authentic. And I think that came up there too. Are you resistant to asking for support from the spiritual realm? I mean, maybe it's from the 3D realm too. I don't know. But there's some wisdom you have within you, that you can understand about this situation you're going through. That you're like on the verge, if not already discovered. And I would say you have to just let it continue to play out, because it's quite possible it's quite like I'm seeing a popcorn kernel. It's quite possible you already have the kernel. You just need to wait for it to pop. Like, I think the ideation, this seed, I think you've got it. I think you're on the trail of it already. But I think because that trail hasn't yielded the end result yet, you're like kind of giving up on it. But I think they want to remind you here that this change in perspective, this uplifting approach, this asking for spiritual intervention, this creating balance in your life, letting go of the overachieving, letting go of the overdoing, letting go of the perfectionism, embracing the simplistic nature of your new life, is the key. I think you are on the right path of this. What you're discovering through this is what you're meant to discover, but you're still discovering it. So there's no need to like rush it. It will lift. This will lift. Let me tell you, there's nothing in my experience that has not lifted in some way. Either from my perspective shifting, where it no longer bothered me in the same way or was no longer uncomfortable, or from my perspective shifting and in a matter of days or weeks or months, it just evaporating from my experience. If you don't think that can happen, like, again, we're not allowed to talk about medical stuff, but all I can tell you is that from my own experience, all of the 10 or 20 things, I can't even tell you how many physical ailments I've had that have all lasted from 3 months to, 2 to 5 years, they have all evaporated. So if you need to hear that can, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but that can happen. Sorry, I'm saying it. It can happen because it happened to me, so I can tell you that. But when you're in it, I understand. When you're in it, it's like, this thing has been with me for so long, I feel like I'm going to be living with this for the rest of my life. And sometimes, you know what I would say to myself? Sometimes right before it lifted, I would say that to myself. Okay, if this is for the rest of my life, to the day that I leave this earth, I have this ailment, so be it. So what's the happiest I can be with this as my state of being? And let me play around with that. Let me play around with that. Let me make it my friend. And sometimes right when I would have that mental epiphany or like acceptance, it would soon lift after that. I don't know why that was like the magic key for me. I think was there keys on this, or was that pile 2? The pile 2 was the keys. And there is something here. I got to wrap up your reading just because of like, I'm going to run out of phone space, but there is something here with this cross-pollinate. But I feel like whoever got that message, cross-pollinate's like, bring a little bit of what you're taking from here and put it over here. I feel like that message, it has something to do with this ideation. But I feel like that's going to make sense to whoever that's supposed to make sense to. For example, like I have 2 YouTube channels, so I'll use the concepts and strategies that I use on one, like how I write my titles or how I, structure my description on the other channel. That's like, that would be an example of cross-pollinating. So apply that to whatever you are thinking about. Okay, guys, I can feel the reading coming to an end. There was a lot of information here. I hope that you got your message. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment. I love reading your guys' comments. I always think about them throughout the week. They really stay with me. It helps me tune into your energy more, and make the readings more clear and more consistent. And obviously, it helps the channel. It helps other people find their messages. Subscribe if you haven't already so that you can find me again if you like my style of reading. If you don't feel called to do any of that, I completely understand. I'm just honored that you've trusted me to be a reader today and that you're still here at this point in the reading. I thank you so much. I trust that you got your messages. If you are going to pile 2, like I mentioned, or another pile you felt drawn to, or that other reading that I posted last, pile 4, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye.